let's flip this over and look at what's happening at Ohio State, right? So not surprisingly, you win a national championship, people are after your coaches. There have been reports that Chip Kelly is interviewing with the Houston Texans, or at least interested, or there's interest from the Texans. There certainly could be more as the NFL coaching carousel continues to spin. They do need a defensive coordinator. Lost Jim Knowles, which I think stunned a lot of people just nationally, maybe not in Columbus as much, but the idea that you just reached the mountaintop and now less than a week later you want to leave. What's wrong there? So I guess I just wanted your perspective on kind of the state of Ryan Day's staff and where they could go for a DC, but also just like, was that shocking to people in Columbus that Jim Knowles wanted out or was willing to leave?
So I think the conversation starts with whenever you win a title and whenever you have players that look the way that Ohio State's players look, people are going to be coveted, right? Like your staff is going to people are going to attempt to poach one way or another. We saw with the roster, Carnell Tate, Jeremiah Smith, both offered huge NIL packages to leave Columbus. I'm sure there were other players that were in a similar boat. Like these are things that happen when you win a championship. Typically, it is a position coach that is going to take a coordinator job elsewhere. Typically, it is a coordinator that is going to take a head coaching job elsewhere. What we don't often see is a lateral move, a coordinator to coordinator in college football. You can make an argument that if Chip Kelly left, it's not really a lateral move because he'd be stepping up to the NFL. But again, it's coordinator to coordinator. For Justin Fry, who took an interview with the Chicago Bears, the offensive line coach, who did a phenomenal job for Ohio State. We talked about that offensive line in the state that it was. Josh Simmons getting ready to be a first-round pick. Donovan Jackson, All-American guard, kicked out to tackle. He's going to be a first-round pick. Seth McLaughlin, people thought he forgot how to play football at Alabama just this time last year. He's an All-American Remington Award winner. Did a great job. He's looking at a lateral move. It's the NFL, so a step up, but for a same position. It does feel weird. Now, for Jim Knowles specifically, I do think it came as a surprise because it's like lateral move to Penn State, the in-conference team, which, by the way, we did see Tony Alford take the running back job at the University of Michigan last year, lateral move to the rival.
Yeah.
It feels strange here. Money was certainly a factor, but that wasn't the reason why. Ohio State allegedly was getting ready to make him the highest paid coordinator in college football. So I don't know if it was this consternation about how much of Jim Knowles' defense he got to run. Does he feel like maybe when things went wrong on defense, Ryan Day was a little bit tougher on him because that's not his side of the ball than he would be on the offensive guys when things weren't going well? I'm not exactly sure, but there's also this guys are looking. They're looking. And so maybe Ryan Day, for as good of a coach as he's proven to be, is a little bit tough to work for. And I played for a guy who was very difficult to work for. I know coaches couldn't wait to get their opportunities to go elsewhere when it was Urban Meyer running the program. And that's what happens when you have high standards, and Ryan was under a ton of pressure. So I totally get it. But like this, it feels like more than just other opportunities that make sense for some of these moves that are getting ready to be made.
Yeah. And we'll see, right? And we'll see, who they replace them with and all of that. Like there's still so much to come in Columbus. And we'll again get to some early prognostication. It's like, what is the word? Prognosticator.
That's a big word. That's a University.
It's a big word. I know it is a University of Michigan word, but I should know how to pronounce it. We'll get to that when we talk a little bit about early looks at next season, about what people think of this roster and team, even despite departures and possible staff changes. So we'll stay on all of that